Horry and Georgetown counties, we welcome you back to Sound Off, heard weekly on your favorite radio station. And again, our goal at Sound Off is to deal with the topics that are relevant to our young people and relevant to you, the community. And on Sound Off this morning, we have a very serious topic, a little more serious than I expected to become. We are talking about bullying, and we were honored to have as our very special guest in the first segment, Avette Brown, and they are having a very important workshop in Florence, South Carolina from 9 to 12. And what we decided to do is continue the dialogue, and that brings me to the point of having this wonderful panel of young people. Please introduce yourselves to Horry and Georgetown County.
Good morning, it's Mercedes.
What up, what up? It's Michelle.
Good morning, it's Raekwon.
Hey, it's Jonica.
Good morning, y'all. This is Austin.
And again, I'm really happy to have very bold and courageous young people being bold enough and brave enough to come on air and talk about your personal experiences as it relates to bullying. So that brings me to, let's talk about, we know that bullying takes place, and we don't have to even look at the news. Locally, you've experienced this. Even personally, you talked about it. So I want to begin with you, Mercedes. Why do you think people bully?
I think there are a number of reasons why people bully. I know from my past, when I was younger, I got bullied because I was such a tomboy because I was raised around nothing but boys. So when I went to school, people were like, oh, you a boy, you want to be a boy. So when I got older, I was thinking, people picked on me because they were older. So I'm going to pick on the people who are younger. So I actually went into a bullying phase myself until I started realizing that I'm actually hurting people and I'm making people cry. And it actually affected me for a while, and then I started to think I could do so much better than this.
Okay, Michelle?
Well, I think people bully because they kind of want what you have.
Okay.
Like, when I was younger, I was bullied, like most of the people on the panel, through middle school. Because in middle school, think about it, I'm 5'4", I weigh 64 pounds.
Wow.
I was teeny. And, you could slam me against a locker and my arm could probably break. But, people picked on me because I'm thinking, oh, I'm skinny. Everybody wants to be skinny. But then I was underweight, too, so I looked sick. So I was called bulimic and anorexic. And I thought people did that to me because they wanted to be skinny.
Okay.
But then when the skinny people started picking on me, I was like, well, what did I do to you? So.
Okay, and Ray?
Well, me being bullied from elementary school on up to the end of middle school, I kind of went through a lot of what they're talking about. Like, I was bullied for, well, it's kind of like the opposite of what Mercedes said. I was raised around all girls.
Okay.
So I was called gay and all that stuff.
Wow.
Like, all through elementary school and middle school. I didn't even know those kids knew about that kind of stuff back then.
Wow.
But they called me it. So, I guess they bully because it's someone that's not like the rest of them, like somebody that's different. And people are scared of change, and they fear that I wasn't like everybody else. And I honestly do think that some people envy that I could be an individual instead of a follower.
Okay.
So they kind of wanted what I was doing, but they didn't have enough courage to do it. So they just went along with everybody else and just picked on me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jonica?
I think some people bully because secretly, like how everybody else is saying, they do want what you have, and then some do it because they're trying to fit in. And they have, oh, I see so-and-so's over there picking on her, maybe I should too. I don't know whether I should laugh or not, which I went through at my time when I was wanting to be accepted because I didn't know why I was being excluded. And then I realized that's their stupidity. Me following up to them is not helping me, it's hurting me, because in the long run, who are these people going to be to me after 2015 when I'm graduating?
That's
Really?
right. Okay. Austin?
I kind of agree with Jonica's saying, because, like, most people, they see bullying and be like, okay, well, you bullying, so I'm a bully too, because, it's kind of like a monkey see, monkey do thing. So I'm like, really? Like, why are you bullying me? You barely know me, so
Right, so
why are you
people
bullying me?
don't even have a reason to do
Exactly,
it.
you don't even have a reason, so why are you bullying me? I mean, like, when I was younger, yeah, I was raised around more girls like Ray was. I was called gay, homosexual as well. But frankly, I really don't care what you got to say about me. Just let you know.
But that didn't happen overnight. See, let's talk about that, Michelle. That didn't happen overnight. So I want to skip to the empowerment part now. Everybody on the panel admit that you were bullied,
Yes.
but nobody's being bullied now. But so how do you go from being bullied to now you saying I don't care? It doesn't happen that easy for everybody. Let's talk about the empowerment process. How does that work? Okay, Ray or
Sorry.
Michelle?
Okay. Again, I don't know if this works for everybody, but 8th grade came, and I was like, you know what? I'm fed up. End of the year came up, the award ceremony, and lo and behold, whose name is called for almost every award?
Yeah,
Me.
Hello.
that's right.
Oh,
Hey.
I'm getting booed, but wait, y'all not getting those awards. So
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all trying to bully me, but I'm smarter than y'all.
You know,
So like, so I'm like, okay, so wait, you're going to bully me, but I'm smarter than you. So how about I not let that bother me and make you even more mad and watch you sit in your anger and
while
laugh
you
at
get
it.
your awards.
Right.
Personal experience, kind of like what Jonica was saying earlier. My empowerment was more like I kind of saw what other people were doing, because at one point I did start to gain weight and
Okay.
everything, and I started looking okay, and I was accepted. And so I was like, okay, I want to stay accepted, so I'm gonna bully somebody else. To be honest, me and Austin weren't cool until around 8th grade. I used to bully him.
Wow,
And then, I thought about it. Like Austin said, I don't know him.
that's right.
I don't know where he came from. I don't know what his personality is. And then one day I decided I'm not going to hang with y'all because I'm making this guy feel bad. And so I'm going to get to know him. And Austin's like a brother to me now.
Right, amazing. Okay, Jonica.
Can't really answer this question full out because I'm still working on that.
Okay,
It took a lot.
okay.
I'm better than I was, because there was a time you could look at me wrong and I bust out in tears. Now you look at me wrong, I'm looking back at you like, what's up? But
Okay.
it's kind of like
You still
working-
going through you're going through the process.
I'm working through not overthinking things.
Okay, all right.
Because, in high school, boys become a big thing. And it's like, I'm looking at some of these girls that are being chased by some of the finest boys. And I'm like, what do you see in her? Then she turned around and I see it. And I'm like, you know what? I am
Wow.
15.
Right.
About to be on that big old 1.6 in about less than a month. But I weigh 105 pounds. That gives me room to hit 120 when I'm 30.
Okay.
People that are 120 now, y'all got long ways to go. So I hope that look good now, but give it 10 years. So that's how I have to keep that in
Okay, and you know what? That's okay. That's okay. That makes a lot of sense because you know what? It's building up your self-esteem and your self-worth, and you realize now how beautiful you are because
I really don't, but I'll take that.
but you are. But the key is you cannot allow other people to tell you who you are and validate you. Mercedes, what has been the defining moment for you in terms of the empowerment process that we go through?
I would say the defining moment for me would have to be the day that I finally realized that bullying was actually getting to me, and I actually started talking to my family about it. And I had no females in the house. So automatically my brothers wanted to beat up anybody and my cousins who was bullying me.
Wow.
But instead of doing this, they looked at me and they said, you know what? You need to start building up your wall. And at first I was like, a wall? What do you mean a wall? I don't get what you're saying. I can't just put a wall in front of me and walk everywhere I go and have a wall. Then I started thinking about it. I started sitting at home and I was like, well, if they want to pick on me, cool, let them pick on me. But I put on this face, like a mask of anything that made you think you weren't affecting me. I'm still laughing and having fun. I would act weird with my friends. Me and my friend, 9th grade year, we did cartwheels down the hallway.
Wow.
And every person picked on us, but I didn't care. And then it got to the point where everybody were all like, well, I'm going to stop picking on her because it's not affecting her.
Okay.
And then, like, that whole wall just went from just being a small wall to a brick wall to where you can say something to me, it could be the most hurtful thing, and I'll look you dead in your eye and won't flinch.
Wow.
You got a passcode
Okay.
on that wall now. It's high tech.
I know that's right.
And like with me, I'm kind of with Mercedes. Like I don't flinch.
Okay.
I mean, I take it and I turn around and I laugh about it. Because laughing is my strong point. But like, okay, people used to come up to me and be like, "Shell, you ugly. You this, you that. Your face ain't cute. Your hair ain't long." Da da. And I'd be like, "Oh, but you the one that gotta look at me." And so I take it around and laugh about it, and then eventually everybody started laughing too. But deep down inside, that still hurt.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I
Jonathan?
actually learned from Kevin Hart. I got to like 8th grade, and like Mercedes, I have nothing but brothers. Cause one, and I hate this, but one, I don't like too many girls in my circle, cause that's how you get drama. So my circle is mainly boys, and I had to realize that's gonna cause even more drama, cause then you get the names, and it's like. But I got out of that from Kevin Hart saying, "Pick a new joke." I always got picked up by being skinny. I couldn't afford braces. I need them bad. So I started taking it when they would be calling me certain names like Barracuda. It's like, cool, fish is good for you.
Ah, turn it
Live
around.
longer.
That's good.
And I was like, all right, so
That reverse psychology.
it got to 9th grade. Same people that have been picking on me since 7th grade. I turn around. Okay, I want y'all to realize that y'all been saying the same thing since 7th grade. So either your IQ ain't increased since then, or you just really have nothing in your life of substance.
Wow.
So I'm going to turn back around and mind my business. Have a nice day.
That's good.
I got that from Jonathan D. Wayne
know
Brown,
what?
Esquire.
And unfortunately, we almost out of time, but I have to touch on the fact that I like what I'm hearing in terms of the empowerment, but unfortunately, that's not the case for a lot of young people. Now, I firmly believe that you have to have someone to talk to. You can't internalize this bullying thing. I believe you should go to your counselors. I believe if you have an adult in your life, male or female, that you can talk to. We have a lot of hotlines and of course, Horry County Schools, again, is zero tolerance. I want to begin with you, Mercedes. Let's talk about what if you do have adults in your life that would like to help you with the bullying problem and sincerely. I'm not talking about people that will scandalize your name, but I'm talking about sincere adults. Do you think as young people you need to utilize those people?
I think that as a young person, if you're being bullied, you do need to utilize those people. But as a starting fact, you got to understand from our point of view, we think that if an adult comes into our life and we try to talk to them about what's going on, we feel like we can't trust them because
Okay.
the only people that we've been always taught to trust is our parents or
Okay.
our family. So if we feel like we're going to talk to them or we try to talk to them, it's always feels like, to me, it shows a sign of weakness to me.
Okay.
It's always been a sign of weakness for me to let out my feelings, let myself cry, let me let out anything because that's how I was. So for me trying to talk to an adult, no, I wouldn't do it.
Okay, Michelle?
Yeah, I'm kind of like Mercedes. I don't, y'all don't see me cry. Y'all have never seen me cry. Y'all have never seen me like break down and have a state. But like like Mercedes said, it's hard talking to an adult. It's even harder talking to your friends sometimes.
Mhm.
Like I have trouble when I was being bullied in middle school. I had trouble telling my mom that
Wow.
and telling my dad that because it's just you don't want to let that out. You don't want to let people know that you are having a downfall in your life. For me, anyway.
So you think
So-
young people see that as a sign of weakness or insecurity?
Yeah.
Or But I mean, we need for you to talk to someone because you know what? Let's just be honest. That's where the suicidal stuff comes from. I really believe that. And so, I mean, and I'm not saying I'm making you talk to adults, Michelle, but you understand my point?
Yeah.
It has to be a point where we as adults have to get you to trust us.
Okay, for me, I believe it's easier. Like right now, we're talking in a group.
Right, right.
I feel if you have something in common with somebody, it's easier to talk about it and not just like face to face.
Gotcha.
Talking in a big group
Mhm.
or a small group with people that have gone through the same thing. Like all of us on this panel have been bullied, and so far it seems like none of us have struggled with telling about that.
Okay, so Ray, give me your recommendation. How can adults help?
Okay, well, my advice to the adults is to, for one, go up to the child and try and help them. And if they shoot you down, which they probably will, keep pushing on and keep pushing and showing that child that you're there for them and basically build that trust back up that they've lost because of the bullying. Because, I know for sure I didn't really trust too many people due to the bullying. So you have to build that trust back up, I believe, in order to get through to that child, to let them know that there's somebody to talk to. Of course, that's not going to solve the entire problem.
Right.
That's just to help their self-esteem so they can stop the problem themselves.
Okay.
But it starts with someone to talk to. So I believe that the adults have to just persevere.
Okay. Jonica, what's your take on that?
I think adults can help. Like, I kind of agree with Ray. But I would say, just to the adults, be careful with that, because that can turn out a whole different way than you expect. Because some kids could have because my mama always asks me why I don't act how I do at home at school. It's because at home I take the lashings and I let it out when I get to the house. I mean, at school I take the lashings, and when I get home, it's like, so when you're pushing and pushing, you might push that child to the point where they turn out, and what they really want to say to the people that are making fun of them will come at you, which will make that relationship between you and that child strenuous, which is why I say be careful with that. But definitely don't let them just sit there. And when you see that point where physical abuse gets in, then you might really just want to step in with the parents, because if they're not talking to their parents, then that's also a big issue.
Okay. All right.
Okay, being my experience from being younger, kids got that mindset of, okay, you being bullied, and then it was like, okay, you gonna go tell this, you gonna tell that, okay, you this, you that, because you telling an adult what's going on. I'm like, I mean, to be honest, that's not a sign of weakness, because you're going to tell an adult about your situation. But you know, in kids today, they feel like, oh, you a punk, you a this, you that, because you telling what's going on. This, you ain't a man about yours, you ain't a woman about yours. I'm like, really? Like, okay, this is what you're doing? If this hurting me, I'm going to get some help. Like, so if I can't do it myself, I'm gonna get some help. So that's my take on that.
So you would say that it is important to have
it is
that an adult. Okay. Makes me feel better, because I'm telling you, the problem that I know can happen from people internalizing stuff is then kids become suicidal. And I mean, everybody needs to have somebody to talk to. I'm telling you. And so I know this has probably, if not been enough time, we have to do part 2. That's the reason why we do Sound Off, because Horry and Georgetown counties, we need to hear the voice of our young people. I would like to say, my opinion is, as I said, I really would not have thought that anyone on this panel would have been bullied, because the face of bullying has changed so much. I'm looking at handsome, beautiful, intelligent, articulate young ladies and young men. But the unfortunate thing is, bullying does not look like what we think it looks like. So as an adult on this panel, I'm sending a challenge out to the community. We have to be mindful, we have to be sensitive, and we have to love our babies. I would like to say, Austin, I commend you. Jonica, Ray, Michelle, Mercedes, I commend you, because you know what? It took a lot of courage to come on the air and talk about the fact that you were bullied. And I believe that it will help a lot of people. So on a lighter note, at Sound Off, we never allow you to leave without giving you the opportunity to shout some people out. So beginning with you, Mercedes, who would you like to shout out?
I would like to give a shout out to my friend Jordan. I'm glad that she came with me today.
Shout out to Guy, parents Tina, David, D. Berry. Love you guys. And shout out to Chick-fil-A and all the people that work there for giving me my job. People listening, please don't come to me for free waffle fries.
Shout out to God, and shout out to Shell for the free waffle fries. For real.
I like to shout out to my Lord and Savior and my parents, Stephen and Pearl Brown, my brother Jonathan, and to those people that still haven't caught up to the fact that bullying is not cute.
I would like to shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, to my wonderful mother Ruby, and my loving family. And I would also like to have a shout out to my church family of Open Door Faith Ministries, and to my wonderful Sound Off crew.
And as always, a very special shout out goes out to this very fine radio station. A very special shout out to the tech crew, Tanisha Jones, Stuart Sumter Jr., Terrell. And I want to shout out DJ and Avriel and also Ishmael. We miss you guys. We really did. And as always, I have to shout out my very special family members in the Dunbar community. Love you so much. And Horry and Georgetown counties, God bless you to you. Remember, we sound off, and
You can sound off too.
that was hot. Y'all did that good.